Hello, 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 everyone. Grand day, grand evening, grand rising, wherever you are in the world. And let's be honest, in this universe, because as humans, ain't the only ones tuning into our frequencies. I don't like some sage, but thank you for tuning in to the House of the Black Obsidian. I am your High Priestess, Hygh. Let me apologize. Um, I know it's been probably about 6 or 7 days since I posted a video, but I've had some personal things going on in life. I actually just buried my grandmother about a week and a half ago. Um, and it's funny because everyone keeps asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm fine. I'm actually surprising myself and how I'm handling everything. Um, but everything I've been through in this past couple of years have led me up to this moment. So, no, I'm not just shoving and stuffing my emotions under the rug. I am actually dealing with them or have dealt with them and still dealing with them. Believe me, I do have my moments where I break down, but just wanted to stage the energy real quick before I get on here and do a reading. I'm not going to say quick, let's be honest. Most of my readings are not quick. I will say this, I've been getting a lot of downloads in this past week. Um, some that will pop into the reading today. Some, of course, source tells me to keep to myself. So, but once again, thank you for tuning in. I am your High Priestess, Oyage, and you are tuning in to the House of the Black Obsidian. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, and get more people in on the channel. And like I said, eventually I am going to post all of my information as far as for personal readings, different things like that. Just please continue to be patient with me and bear with me. I have a lot on my plate. Um, but real quick, let's go ahead and do a quick prayer before I get into the energy. So thank you, Creator, Creatress, Most High, Source, for the messages and blessings that you rain down on me to give to the collective. Thank you, angels and ancestors and spirit guides. Ashe. All right, so real quick, I just want to do this. I drink a lot of tea, and they always have really, really good messages, so I put them in a jar. Let's pick a message for the day. Interesting. I actually picked a fortune cookie. It says, "A great man never ignores the simplicity of a child." The lucky numbers is 23, 22, 18, 36, 38, and 47. Master number 22. And pick one more. If you are helping somebody, you are awakening somebody. All right. So I'm going to pick an oracle card first for my African goddess rising, and then we'll get into the tarot reading. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of downloads. Some of them I am to keep to myself for now, or pretty much for a minute, because you guys aren't ready for the messages. Like I said, sometimes the messages and downloads I get may sound crazy to the average person, but it is what it is. Said, thank you for tuning in to the House of the Black Obsidian. I am your High Priestess, Oya J. Please like, share, and subscribe. Take what resonates with you and leave what does not. Because the messages aren't for everybody, and everything in the messages aren't for you. So Ashe. All right, source, what do you have for me? What oracle card to start the book? Well, wasn't just one, of course, as always. All right, 28, soul forgiveness. To bid you number 4, feeling safe. And like I said, the cards just popped out at me. Number 13, oil for storms. 37, this one is liberation. We have Sarah Kali, divine lineage. And then 14 is going to be worthiness. And this is Atet. And the first card that I actually seen when they flipped out and, on the floor was Aunt Nancy, which is betrayal. So since this was the very, very first card that I noticed, I'm going to start with that one. So I'm not even going to go into reading what's in the actual book. I'm just going to sum this up and then I'm going to actually get into the tarot reading. So you're going through a betrayal, whether it's you betraying yourself or someone betraying you. But you have to go deep and forgive yourself and really find that true soul forgiveness in order to feel safe during the storms of life. Okay. But all of that betrayal and you going deep to forgive yourself, to eventually feel safe during the storms, the winds of life, because let's be honest, life has its high and low. We're not always all in that loving bubble and everything's all good to go. You know, that's not harmony, that's not balance. With the good comes the bad, that's just life. Especially in being a part on this earthly realm. But through all of that, you'll find your liberation and tap into your true divine lineage of what you're supposed to be doing to make you feel your full worthiness. Right now, you're feeling lost, you're feeling stuck, you don't know what to do. And that comes from the worldliness, the 3D, the people that keep saying this is still purge season, it's still time to continue to purge and go deep. We always talk about the 3D and the 5D. Well, what's between the 3D and the 5D, the 4D? Well, what is the 4D? This may sound weird, whatever you want to call it, but it's purgatory. You're in that space, you're in that void. But you're alone. You're in solitude, and that's where you're supposed to be in order to truly find yourself and find what the issue is, the imbalance. Finding that true soul forgiveness, you have to go deep. You have to go into that void. You have to go within in order to truly connect and hear from the 5D and your higher self, to be clear on what you're hearing and your discernments. Um, like I said, the betrayal may not necessarily be someone betraying you. You could be betraying yourself by going back and dealing with those same people, places, and things that Source tried to get out of your life. You know, People especially will always circle back around, especially when they're energy vampires, energy suckers, narcissists, to try to test you to see, is she really who she says she is? Can I trigger him or her? And you betray yourself by acting and giving them the reaction that they want. Your karma is your reaction is your karma. Only way you're going to liberate yourself, though, is going into that void, going into that unknown dark place and dealing with your shadows and your issues with yourself, with people, with places and things. Because it's not always people. Sometimes we hold on to things that no longer serve us. And that could be honestly clothes or um, a shirt, a gift that an ex gave you, and you no longer want that person in your energy, but they keep popping back. Well, why? Because you're still holding on to something. And yes, some things have value to them. And I'm not just saying go through everything and purge and get rid of everything, even though that's what I did. Um, I'm guilty. I've allowed some people to come back into my life that were not supposed to be back in there, and I knew that. So in essence, I kind of fucked myself and self-sabotaged myself, like, oh, well, maybe they've changed. No, 99% of the people are still who they were before. Okay, let me not say 99%, okay? Most people are still who they were because they're scared. They don't want to do the work because, once again, the work is hard. It's not easy. It's painful. I mean, let's be honest, going back into that childhood energy, or just even if it's a couple years back, bringing up those old hurt and those wounds that you shoved under the rug that you didn't want to deal with at the time, you have to deal with those in order to ascend. Um, but in that liberation, you're going to tap into your divine lineage. You're going to tap into the true DNA, the true essence of who you are, to feel safe and feel that worthiness. You are worthy. You are whole. You are complete. And you don't need another person to make you feel complete. You tap into your divine lineage, it gives you that full completion of who you are and where you come from and where you're going. And work on my Hoodoo Tarot deck next. This is one of my favorite decks. It's definitely been resonating with me a lot, especially in the time that we're in. And not just that, like I told you, I lost my grandmother recently, and she wasn't just a grandma. She raised me. I mean, I pretty much lived with my grandmother my entire life, on and off. I recently just moved out um, before she passed away. And she was not sick while I was there. As crazy as this sounds, it almost feels like when I did move and I pulled my energy, everything just went to shit. It's almost like I was the energy holding her and sustaining her, me and my daughter. Anyway, so I haven't even shuffled these cards, anything. At the bottom of the deck is grandchildren. And like I said, you are tuning in to the House of the Black Obsidian. I am your High Priestess, Oya Ajay. Please like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. And if these messages resonate with you, let them resonate. Take them in. Whatever doesn't resonate, leave out the door. All right, grandchildren also correlates with the card, the star card. Early the next morning, Laban kissed his grandchildren and his granddaughters and blessed them, and then he left and returned home. I'm just gonna go on a personal note. Excuse me. That's my alarm going off at 10:10 a.m. because that's actually one of the times where I take 5 minutes and take up space and hold space and visualize my day, my life, my future, whatever it may be at the time. Um, but the grandchildren. Early the next morning, Laban kissed his grandchildren and his granddaughters and blessed them. Then he left to return home. That resonates with me in my personal room because my grandmother, like I said, I just lost her. Um, when she came home from the hospital, I cared for her literally for that whole week. And I didn't do this for anybody else or to appease to my family or anything like that. I did what Spirit told me to do. It's not by chance that I'm High Priestess Oya. Oya helps transition the souls to the other side. And that's exactly what I did. But anyhow, when grandchildren appears in a reading, it's a sign that relief from a stress, negativity, or despair is on its way. There is no sign of hope evident in your life yet, but be patient and you will soon see the proof of things that are looking up. Blessings shall abound. These are just things to consider. Do you regularly count your blessings? Believing doesn't require proof. What can you do to regain hope? Find a way to become inspired. What motivates you to get up in the mornings and do it all again? Miracles happen every day. Why can't they happen to you? Perhaps it's time for the old and the young to get together and enjoy each other's company. Blessings are on the way. It might be time to share some words of wisdom with someone younger or less mature. All will turn out right in the end. And yes, it will. So have faith. Don't be too stressed out. Don't be too down. Don't be too negative. And yes, I'm not saying, once again, stuff those emotions away. Definitely feel those emotions. Go into that 4D. Go within. Feel and deal with those emotions. Cry, scream, shout. Whatever you need to do to process this time of feeling stagnant, of not being able to move forward. It's okay. We're human. It's okay to have emotions. But don't always go off emotions. You got to think logically sometimes as well. Okay? All right, Source, what do you have for me in the collective? Not even really for me because this reading is not for me. What do you have for the collective, Source? Even though a lot of people may have issues with me bringing my personal experiences into the readings, but experience is the best lesson. So, like I said, take how it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it at the door. All right. I got the Ace of Knives, the Mother of Sticks, and the Father of Coins. So, of course, the Ace of Knives is the Ace of Swords. Let's see. Ace of Swords. Or, sorry, Ace of Knives. All right. So I really like this though because it gives you a plant to work with. Um, Scriptures, different things like that. But the plant for the Ace of Knives is ashwagandha. In this picture, a hand clasps an illuminated dagger with a chicken foot and two rings from an owl dangling from it. The chicken foot symbolizes protection and revealing the hidden enemies, and the rings symbolize foresight and making wise choices. So right now, facing fears, logic, triumph over adversity, objectivity, intellectuals, mind power, breakthroughs, getting to the point, clarity, determination, decision making, the power of words, seeing through illusions, analysis, quick witted people, justice, surgery, critical thinkers, authority, calling it as you see it, accepting the truth even when it hurts. Yeah, sometimes the truth does hurt. You have to just accept it. It kind of goes back to that betrayal. You're starting to see things, people, places, and things for what they really are. You're starting to see the deception in people, places, and things. And those people, places, and things don't realize that you notice the deception, the bullshit. They actually think they're pulling the wool over your head, like, and you're not fucking Boo Boo the Fool or Sam Sausage Head. Like, you're not stupid. To them, you seem stupid because you're just sitting back and you're not saying anything and you're not calling bullshit for what it is. There's a time and a place for it, but you're just sitting back and literally collecting all your evidence, um, all of the information that you need for when that time comes, to make that decision and use your words and the power of those words to pretty much call their bullshit. All right, Mother of Sticks, which is the Queen of Wands. All right. The plant that resonates with that is tobacco. As you see, she's actually smoking. The mother of sticks is shown with a crown of tobacco leaves. This is reminiscence of early colonial era of Black Virginian advertisements. She is wearing a tartan fastened with a grouse foot brooch. It's a good luck charm. The mother of sticks pipe is lit by a kite. Mmm. There are 5 types of kites living in the southern United States. Like the mother of sticks, these beautiful raptors are determined to keep moving forward, so much that they never take a break. They eat, drink, and even bathe in flight. The mother of sticks is one of the most uplifting cards on the deck. On the positive side, she is optimistic, fiery, confident, courageous, focused, and powerful. On the negative side, she could be malicious, overbearing, arrogant, two-faced, a workaholic, or a major drama queen. So it doesn't represent an actual person, it's just personas of yourself. When you're feeling good, you're fiery, you're confident, you're not to be fucked with, you're courageous, you have the power within to do anything. But when you allow that those negative vibrations sink in, that ego, you become arrogant. You have to find that balance, period. All right, the father of coins, the plan is the sesame. The father of coins displays a genie lamp, an incense burner, a mason jar of oil with the mysterious name of Allah inside to attract prosperity. Just real quick, I can't think of the name of the old picture. It's or who did the actual picture, but um it was the man, with the arms out, with the legs out, and it has the circle around it. I can't think of it, but nonetheless, Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. What does that spell? Allah. Okay. Anyway, Orientalism is very fashionable during the 19th and 18th, or in the early 20th centuries, among the general populace, especially among the oculists. While headscarves and turbans were certainly not new to the Black American population, some root workers began to wear more elaborate turbans to attract customers. It's also during the same time period that more Black Americans became interested in researching and studying their Islamic, Moorish, East Indian, Asiatic heritage. The father of coins is the personification of wealthy, successful businessman. On the positive side, he is an efficient leader, responsible, disciplined, reliable, enterprising, lucky, and focused on abundance. On the negative side, he's a show off, a braggart, makes bad investments, and has gambling problems, which will resort to questionable or illegal activity to make it. So, get rich quick schemes, all of that. So, once again, lower vibrations are going to bring you destruction. You have to know when to balance, but definitely not in the sense of being deceptive. Be in the world, but not of the world. You have to navigate with one foot in, one foot out. I know a lot of people say you can't straddle the fence, but you have no choice. Because if you stay up in the 5D, reality is going to happen. God's going to smack you and bring you back down to reality. And I'm only saying that because it happened to me. I almost feel like a lot of my videos are being redundant because I'm saying the same stuff, but I guess you guys aren't getting the messages. You're not doing the work, which is sad, and you're going to fuck yourself. So I know I'm doing the work. Three of sticks, eight of coins, four of basket, five of knives. Three of sticks is a three of wands. The plant is kudzu. A root worker is standing in the peak of Mount Sheha, which is the highest natural point in Alabama. I'm sure I did not pronounce that right. He wears a cape of kudzu leaves for protection against any malevolent spirits as he contemplates. The meaning of this card: improves finances, travel, exploration, becoming a leader, seeing the bigger picture, embarking on a quest. Expansion, feeling free and uninhibited, visionary, power moves, reaping the rewards for hard work, and receiving potentially game game changing advice. You got to do the work. On the negative aspect of that, nothing nothing's working out as planned. Unforeseen obstacles, hitting adversaries, obsession with past failures, short term thinking, making the wrong moves, lack of real effort, and not being taken seriously. So you could either not do the work and continue to stay stuck, continue in your limited thinking, or you can go in and do the work in that 4D and deal with whatever shadow work, whatever issues you have in order to get to that next level. And only you know what those are. But only you can come out of denial and figure out what the issue is. No one else can tell you your problems or how to handle them. I'm not going to say that. Yes, giving advice from the correct humans, I will say that. But more than anything, take it all to source. Surrender it all to God. Um, yeah. So, 8 of coins. Eight of coins. 8 of coins. Which is the 8 of pentacles. So, once you go inward, you do the work and you hear yourself. You have to work hard at it. 8 of coins, skill development, working hard to attain goals, craftsmanship, job training, apprenticeship, intern, new job, thorough research, project development, brainstorming, student, teachers, education, mastery of a subject, studying, grinding, and entrepreneurship. Going within is going to be able to help you with your next move. Going within is going to help you find that mastery, that study, whatever it is that you need to go to that next level. Whether it is taking on a new job or stepping out on faith and starting your own business. We're always students and we're teachers. Well, not all of us. Some of us stay students for our entire life because we choose to. 4 baskets, which is 4 of cups. So you can see like someone's coming in to offer. She has 3 baskets already in the back, and someone's coming in to offer her another basket. And she's like, nigga, please. So once you get to that 8 of coins and you start going into um, that new journey, career wise, you're going to get a lot of offers to the point where it's like, ugh, all right, we'll just put that up there, put that up there. No, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. Leave me alone. Because in a sense, you've gained what you've needed within yourself. Now the person coming in is trying to offer you something and you're like, no, I've already done the work for myself. Like you're kind of too late coming in to offer your help. When I needed your help, you weren't there. So you're disgusted because you see through the bullshit. It's like you don't have time for it. It's irritating. Really fucking irritating. All right, next card is going to be the 5 of Knives, which is the 5 of Wands. I'm sorry, not the 5 of Wands, but the 5 of Swords. Um, Anytime there's a 5, there's that strife, that imbalance. In this particular card, a woman showing off a silver coin hidden beneath her tongue. This is called putting a bite in your mouth. It was believed by some root workers that if you had no choice but to lie in court, you would be freed of responsibility of lying after swearing upon the Bible. So this is making amends, conflict resolved, vindication, overcoming challenges, vengeance, righteous fury, treachery exposed, being prepared for battle, the end of attacks, fighting back, comforting evil, and compromise. So just like I said, she's turning her cheek. She's like, I'm done with the bullshit. Like, I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the sneakiness. I'm tired of the betrayal. And when you return with a vengeance, it's not a bad thing at all. It's that balance. You're showing up and showing people you're not to be fucked with. I see through your bullshit. You've been doing this shit for too long. Leave me alone. Let me study my craft and interest so that I can do what I need to do my work. Shut the fuck up, sit back and watch. While your ass is gonna get cut with my words. All right. Thank you for tuning in. This is the House of the Black Obsidian. I am your High Priestess, Hygh, and I just came to give you a few messages. All right, this is going to be the last set of cards that I'm going to pull. Then I'm going to do a pick from the ruins and then go on about my day. All right, we got the Father of Sticks, which is the King of Wands. We got the Father of Baskets, which is the King of Cups. And then we have um, Bishop Mason, which I believe this is the Emperor card for this deck. Let me look to make sure. No, it's the Hierophant. Okay. Um, the Father of Sticks, which I said is the King of Wands. The plant is rye. If you look down there at the bottom right there, it looks like a bottle. It could be some rye whiskey. A highly successful 19th century hoodoo man named Dr. James Alexander, aka Indian Jim, who lived in New Orleans but was originally from Mississippi, is depicted as the father of sticks. He is known for his curing ceremonies, which include distribution of fruit covered in burning brandy. Hmm. You see the fire down there a little bit, but anyway, um, he would also do head washings in brandy. The father of sticks is generally a benefit card. On the positive side, he's a visionary, adventurous, goal oriented, wise, trustworthy, and a can do attitude, a natural born leader. You're a leader. You're a natural born leader. You are that teacher. It's time for you to go within and step into your space and know who you are. Like, he has confidence. This man knows who he is. Next card is going to be the Father of Baskets. There's a lot of male energy here. So tap into your divine masculinity. Once again, I keep saying this, when we are born or when we're in the womb, before those ovaries drop into testes, we are one thing. You have to find that balance. Even me as a woman, I have to find that balance. Sometimes I feel prissy, sometimes I want to dress in my stilettos, and then sometimes I want to have on my pullover and be comfortable and let my nuts hang. No, I'm joking. All right, the father of baskets sits on a boat, displaying an abundance of fish on a string and a basket full of blue crabs. His boat is decorated in tiny mirrors, mirrors in silver, either worn on one's person or attached to boats, were believed to bring good luck to fishermen. He's an archetype of the nurturing father and provider. He's kind, he's generous, he's diplomatic, he's tolerant, reliable, resourceful, honest, wise. On the negative side, he can be moody and destructive. Confidence, show up as you, authentically you. And this is for male or females. Females, show up with that confidence that you see sometimes men have. And I don't mean ego or arrogance. Show up as authentically you, knowing who you are. Boldness, that fiery spirit. But as you can see, like, he knows who he is. He also knows who he is, but he's humble. He's more laid back and chill. So find that balance. Know a time and a place of when to show up and bring that heat. And then there's a time to sit back and let it flow. Bishop C.H. Mason. I'm just going to say on a personal level, this card really, really resonates with me. It definitely looks crazy, but if you watch my other videos or if you just know me, I come from a lineage of bishops. My great grandfather was a bishop. My grandma was, she was the chair of the Sunday school at her church for the longest time. She, I want to say, stepped down maybe a year ago, if that. So naturally, I was raised in that environment. Naturally, my DNA has um, spiritualism in it, where my ancestors were more religious, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is why I am who I am. But I literally come from a long line of bishops. My grandfather, Peter James Henderson, um, was born in 1919 and passed away in 1991, I believe. Yeah. Um, but he was a nation renowned bishop. Um, born in Mississippi, um, and ended his journey in this 3D realm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Um, I just got chills. But yes, nonetheless, my grandmother's up there with her father now. All right, enough of my own personal stuff. Let's get back to the reading. But Bishop C.H. Mason. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. When yeah, you're being sinful. When Spirit and God tells you to do something and you don't do it, you're being disobedient, you're being sinful, you're going against your own grain, you're going against your higher power. Choice. You made that choice to deceive yourself. All right, the plants, cedared and mustard. This image. This card combines Bishop Mason's iconic photo with an interpretation of what his spiritual baptism looked like. He said he said this about the moment the Holy Spirit visited him. So when he had gotten me straight on my feet, there came a light which enveloped my entire being above the brightness of the sun. When I opened my mouth to say glory, a flame touched my tongue, which ran down me. My language changed, and no words could I speak in my own tongue. Oh, I was filled with the glory of the Lord. My soul was then satisfied. Bishop Charles Harrison Mason was born in 1866 and ascended or transitioned 1961. He was a Pentecostal holiness denominational leader and the founder, chief apostle, and the first senior bishop of the Church of God in Christ based in Memphis, Tennessee. I have bloodlines there as well, but my grandfather, Peter James Henderson, was a member, a bishop of the Church of God in Christ. We just laid my grandmother to rest at the headquarters of the Church of God in Christ here in Denver, Colorado. When you receive Bishop C.H. Mason in a reading, you are being asked to humble yourself and trust the teachers, guides, and elders of your community. This is no easy task in an age when no one wants to be told what to do, and the authorities of all types of subjects of deep suspicion or outright hatred. This is especially true if said authorities are representatives of the so-called organized religions. While there is excellent reason to be skeptical of anyone attempting to assert our agency, we should not allow paranoia to become so crystallized in our consciousness that we end up throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Bishop C.H. Mason represents the conventional wisdom of any and all societal institutions, be that university, places of worship, or corporations. Basically, this includes any place with rules, guidelines, rites, and rituals that must be adhered to in order to be considered officially a member of the community. The bishop also represents unspoken rules. This card is asking you to recognize the importance of group cohesion, cooperation, submission, temperance, conservatism. So, just kind of questions to ask yourself. Is conformity always good or bad? The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. Which is true. If you're the sore thumb, the oddball that sticks out, the black sheep of the family, they're going to beat you down to a pulp, or at least try to. But do you conform to them beating you and what they're impressing on you, or do you go against the grain? What do you really believe in or have faith in? Go deep and explore further. Do you see the value in your cultural heritage? Is what is considered orthodoxy or the proper way of doing things actually orthodox, or is it improper to your community? I can tell you right now, what I'm doing right now, my family does not agree with. Mom calls it witchcraft. I don't care. Spirit speaks to me differently. I am going against the grain of my community, of my bloodline, by doing tarot readings and spiritual readings. But so what? It might be in your best interest to follow the rules this time. No, I think that's part of the problem is we followed the rules of what others wanted us to do for so long and finally realized that it doesn't match us. It doesn't match my energy. This isn't me. The only way to find out who you really are is to go within. Everyone is a disciple of something, but true discipline is rare. Are you sure you understand the fine print? Join us. Could it be that what is expected of you is good for you? Be on time for the ritual. Get back in line. Teamwork makes the dream work. Follow the leader, and Simon says. Yeah, Simon says, God says. You don't have to do what other people tell you to do. You don't have to do what other you don't have to go along to get along because of that is how you were raised. That's what your community expects. Sometimes it's okay to stand out and be that black sheep because in that you are being yourself and being authentically you.